Hi everyone, it's Matt from The Pen Habit. I am glad to be back for yet another video. And today we're going back to one of my favorite manufacturers. So several videos ago, and you can see the thumbnail over here, I literally sang the praises of my Franklin-Christoph Model 19. Still love that pen. It's in my top 5 now. When I hit my two-year anniversary of using fountain pens in February, I'll do my next top 5 video, and I will be shocked if that pen isn't the top 1 or 2. Love that pen. In any case, I liked the pen so much, I wanted to give Franklin-Christoph another try. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Franklin-Christoph Model 2. So comes in a package like this, white cardboard sleeve. I don't get these white cardboard sleeves. I'm sure there's a reason for them. I don't get it because everyone comes with it, and the first thing everyone does, throw it away. All right. After the cardboard sleeve, you get this nice little snakeskin clamshell style pen coffin. Open it up. Comes with a couple of cards, the warranty and just the business card. A couple of cartridges, one in black and one in blue, and then the pen itself. Okay, I'll move this out of the way because you'll be able to see this better against my scratched up table than you will the white pad. This is the Franklin-Christoph Model 2, and this is the smoke and ice finish. So the smoke comes from the top of the cap, which has this kind of pearlescent, shimmery, silver gray color. Has the Franklin-Christoph Gothic letter F with the 4 diamonds, their logo. The clip, which is still a little flimsy feeling for my personal tastes, is the same as it was on my Model 19 with the 4 diamonds engraved into it. The pen tapers pretty drastically. It's pretty wide up here at the top, tapers drastically. This acrylic down here is what's known as the ice finish. And it's a clear acrylic that looks like it's been acid etched or something on the inside. So it gives it this kind of semi-opaque, icy, frosty quality to it. Tapers a whole bunch right down here to a very narrow end point, and then the very end is super, super clear acrylic. It's a handsome pen with a handsome profile. One of the interesting things about this profile that I like is that this super narrow pen, the end of the barrel here, allows for a very, very deep posting of the pen. So even when posted, this pen is not terribly long. It's very comfortable to write with posted. So if you're a person who likes to write with your pens posted, this is a really solid option for you. My only problem with posting the pen is that if I have the clip down, on the underside of the pen, or I don't push the cap on solidly, if I start writing with my fingers, the action might occasionally pop the cap off the back. That's happened to me a few times, but not often. Looking at the nib, this is the stainless steel nib. Got the Franklin-Christoph logo on it here and an M for medium, which is my preferred nib width. It has the block threads right up here at the end of the section, which is cool. So you'll notice when the pen is capped, you can actually see the threads right up here instead of down here where they normally are. What that does is if you're a person who likes to hold your pen further up, there are no threads right here at all, which I don't know why it took someone so long to come up with that design, but it's genius. Because so many people don't like where they can hold the pen. They want to hold it further back, or I don't know anyone who holds the pen this close to the nib. You move it back a millimeter and a half, and all of a sudden you're right on the middle of the writing section. Genius. A+ for Franklin-Christoph on this one. Perfect positioning of those block threads. Cartridge converter pen. So the acrylic, the threads are very well cut. Comes with a converter. Nice standard Schmidt style converter. The other nice thing is because both the section and the barrel of the pen are acrylic, this pen can be used as an eyedropper. Now, I mentioned that I thought that may be the case on the Model 19. I think I mentioned that. But because of the color bands in the barrels, I have heard that's probably not the best idea in the world to use that particular pen to do an eyedropper. But this you can, and I have. This is I first did it with a purple ink, and it washed out quite well. I probably wouldn't use a highly staining ink, like a lot of red inks can be highly staining, or things like Bay State Blue, the infamous Bay State Blue. But other than that, I didn't have any problems washing the ink right out. And it looks so cool to have the ink sloshing around in the barrel. I didn't want to do it for the review, but because I wanted to take the photos without the ink in there to give you a sense of what it looks like without. But I suspect I will probably never fill this pen via converter again. I suspect I will always use this pen as an eyedropper because it just looks so cool to have this filled as an eyedropper. So I really like the design of this pen. It's a neat looking pen, and it's unique. And I've said this in several other videos, but I feel like of the pen manufacturers that are out there right now, Franklin-Christoph is really one of the ones that's doing the most interesting things with the design of the pen. Their materials aren't necessarily the most interesting materials or most eye-catching materials, but the designs are so unique and so different from anything else that's out there that I like what they're doing. Okay, so measurements. We are looking at 144 millimeters when capped, a nice long 131 when uncapped. So this is a pen that does not need to be posted. But if it's posted, and this is a thing I find fascinating, capped, it's 144. Posted, it's 147. So you are just barely longer when it's posted than you are when it's capped. I don't know of any other pen in my collection where that's the case. So again, a very unique design element there, which I actually like a lot. The middle of the writing section here is 11.5 millimeters. The widest point of the barrel is 13.5, and the widest point of the cap, which was right up here, is 16.25 millimeters. And then in terms of weight, this is a pretty lightweight pen. It's 12 grams with a cartridge, and it's 12 grams filled via eyedropper. I don't know what it is. I didn't measure what it is. In fact, I've got my scale here. Let's just do that. We've got to put it in grams. So with the converter in place, it is also 12 grams. So there you go. Whether it's filled via eyedropper or filled via converter, 12 grams. And with the cap, either posted or capped, it's 20 grams. So a nice lightweight pen, nice feel in the hand, interesting shape. I like this pen a lot from a design perspective. Now let's talk writing. So let's go ahead and do our little writing sample. So this is the Franklin-Christoph Model 02 in the Smoke and Ice finish. The nib is steel, medium. And the ink today is Mont Blanc Holiday Glow, which is the 2012, limited edition holiday ink from Mont Blanc. I just found a bottle of it at I think penboutique.com and had that ordered. So nice red ink. It is perhaps the most red of red inks, like just straightforward red. It's not too dark. It doesn't look like blood. It doesn't have orange undertones or yellow undertones or brown undertones. It is just flat out red. It reminds me of Christmas red, which I suppose makes sense for a holiday glow ink. All right, on to the quote. Eschenbach. Marie von Eschenbach. And if there is a quote in this world that more adequately defines the fountain pen hobby, I don't know what it is. To be content with little is hard. To be content with much, impossible. Seems like the more pens I get, the more I want to collect. So back when I had my first pen, I thought, I'll never get another pen. This will last me my whole life. And it lasted about 2 weeks. Okay. Now, I have many, many times in the past sung the praises of the Franklin-Christoph nibs. I believe their nibs, I can't remember off the top of my head if their nibs are made by Jovo or Bock. I think they're made by Bock, the German manufacturer Bock. They're wonderful. Absolutely wonderful nibs. I've yet to have one that has needed alignment, that has had ink flow problems, that has even needed smoothing. They have just been spectacular out of the box every single time. Now, this is only the second Franklin-Christoph pen I've used, but I have Franklin-Christoph nibs on 3 other of my pens, I believe. I like their nibs so much that I am buying, every time I buy a Franklin-Christoph pen, I have them add a couple extra nibs onto the order. And they've got a ton of options available in both steel and gold. I prefer the gold nibs a little bit more just because I like that extra line variation, but the steel nibs are quite nice as well. This, by the way, this little skip here was more my lack of the pen touching the paper than a problem. I haven't had a single problem with this pen thus far. In terms of line variation, there's not much, but it's a steel nib and it's not meant to be flexed, so that is not terribly surprising. This pen is just a little bit drier than I would like, but I actually think that has more to do with the ink than it does with the pen, or perhaps it's the converter. When I was using this as an eyedropper and I had a different ink in there, the flow was a little bit better. So it could be that this ink is runs a little bit drier. This is the first time I've used the ink, so I don't know for sure. That being said, it does look like the tip of the nib is actually just a little too tight. So I'll probably try to bend the wings of the nib back a little bit so I can get just a touch more ink flow in there. But it's really not bad. It is, and this has just a touch of feedback to it, but it's still very pleasant to write with. It's not toothy at all, but just a little bit of, hey, you're writing, as opposed to, oh my gosh, I'm going to slip off the paper, which I've got a couple nibs like that. I love that, but there are times where I'm like, it's so slick, I can't keep up with my pen. My hands can't keep up with my pen because it just wants to slip right off the edge of the paper. I don't think with this particular nib you get it, but I'm putting no pressure down on this pen, and it works. It just works. And, I have to hand it to the Franklin-Christoph folks. They put together one heck of a writing instrument. I really, really do like this pen. Is it worthy of singing its praises? Not quite. Is it in my top 5? Probably not, but it's not far off. I would say it's probably my top 10. At least right now it is. But I think I like the larger Model 19 just a little bit more. While I do like the smoke and ice finish, there are times where I'm like, I wish it had swirl or marble, or I wish they had more of those really showy acrylics, because while the solid colors are cool, man, there are days where I just want a really colorful, bright pen. Now, I suppose I could always get that by using it as an eyedropper and filling it that way. I think that would probably help a little bit too. But other than that, it's a great writer. It's a wonderful pen. Smooth as all get out. Well, not quite that smooth, but smooth, a little bit of feedback. like it a lot. This is a very wonderful pen. So good on the folks at Franklin-Christoph. Oh, sorry, really quickly, forgot to show this, and I know there were people who call me on it. Upside down writing, quite smooth actually. Very fine. It's a little scratchy going this direction, but everything else is quite nice. Very fine line, works just fine. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. Questions or comments, please leave them down in the comment section below on YouTube. Or if you are on PenHabit, watching it there, you can leave them in the comments below there. If you haven't been over to penhabit.com, please head over there. Check out the rest of the photos of the pen and all the other pens. You can find all of the pens I've reviewed, list of all the inks I have, list of all the pens I currently have in my collection, etc., etc., etc. And occasionally a giveaway or two. We just had a giveaway a couple weeks ago for a $100 gift certificate because I hit 2,500 YouTube subscribers, which was awesome. And while the contest was running, I hit 3,000. So I gave away a second prize as well. So congrats to the two winners of that. And check back PenHabit every now and again because I'll do more giveaways as we hit other milestones. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you here next time on the PenHabit.